The day has arrived, the election before the election, the bellwether election that will likely shed some light on some major unanswered questions as we look towards the 2022 midterm elections and the big kahuna, the looming 2024 presidential election. What happens in less than 3 hours, folks, in Virginia will have ripple effects on who wins the House and Senate exactly 1 year from today. A Republican win in very blue Virginia will likely lock in Republican Party majorities in the House and Senate. Game it out a little further. Gaining the House and Senate will likely give President Trump the ammo he needs and wants to run for president in 2024. So a lot is riding on the outcome of this race. In a rare occurrence, a state election will have national ramifications. That's why there is so much interest in Virginia in 2021. America is at a crossroads, and Democrat Terry McAuliffe and Republican Glenn Youngkin are trying to lead their respective parties forward. It wasn't always a close race. In what has become a very Democratic state, former Governor Terry McAuliffe was an odds-on favorite for months. Then the tide started to change for McAuliffe, who's well entrenched in Biden administration policies. As crisis after crisis has plagued the president, his polls have bled support. Look at this. He's down to a 54% disapproval rating, 42% approval of his lowest of his presidency. That doesn't bode well for any Democrat. Then the shot heard around the world. In politics, a single sentence can doom an election. That one line, a comment Terry McAuliffe made during a debate, was the bell that rang through the hearts and minds of Virginia voters.
I don't think parents should be telling schools what they should teach. Parents had to write to veto books, Glenn, not to be knowledge about it, also take them off the shelves. And I'm not going to let parents come into schools and actually take books out and make their own decisions.
That was a mistake. It was clean up on aisle 5 for McAuliffe. McAuliffe had a large enough lead at that time. He could have gone into damage control and survived, come out with a win. But instead, McAuliffe foolishly doubled down.
I love Billy and Jack McAuliffe, my parents, but they should not have been picking my math or science book. We have experts who actually do that. As you saw in the crowd, everybody clapped when I said it. He wants to ban critical race theory. Well, let me explain to you. It's never been taught in Virginia.
Yeah, well, it was. But that was the opening Glenn Youngkin needed. And it turns out the idea that school boards had greater say in what kids are being taught in school, like the racist critical race theory, greater say than those kids' actual parents, resonated with parents in Virginia. But it also resonated in California, in Texas, in Florida, in every state in the union. Thanks to Terry McAuliffe and the Democrats, they made race and education wedge issues in America. And get this, the Democrats made race a wedge issue in a state where the current governor of Virginia, Ralph Northam, a white man who, by the Democrats' own definition, is a big, fat racist. They seem to have forgotten that Northam was a frequent blackface wearer and even stooped to donning the white hood from occasion. As the race for governor tightened, panic struck the McAuliffe camp, so he pulled out the big guns. Biden showed up, Kamala showed up, and the biggest gun of all, Barack Obama, stumped for McAuliffe. Well, when Biden showed up, old Joe seemed to be more interested in Trump than McAuliffe when he was on stage last week.
Thank you. That's right. This is not a Trump rally. We let him holler. Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Trump. Donald Trump. Trump and Trump. Trump. Donald Trump. Donald Trump. 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 Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Donald Trump. 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 Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Trump. Trump.
Trump. And Barack Obama stepped in it when he claimed Youngkin was surging in the polls only because he was ginning up some fake outrage, even dog whistling who? Donald Trump.
Don't have time to be wasting on these phony, trumped-up culture wars, this fake outrage that right-wing media peddles to juice their ratings, and the fact that he's willing to go along with it instead of talking about serious problems that actually affect serious people, that's a shame. That's not what this election's about. That's not what you need, Virginia.
All right. Unfortunately, McAuliffe, even the liberal puppet master Obama's support wasn't moving the needle into the blue for them as parents after parents stepped up. We had them on our show. They demanded Virginia stop peddling a racist critical race theory to their kids. Then this weekend, the Democrats jumped the shark. Desperate times called for desperate measures, and that's where we stand now. Glenn Youngkin, with the polls showing him with an advantage, but the polling is over and the voting is underway. Now, just 2 hours and 53 minutes or so to go. It's a toss-up, and that alone is a win for Republicans in Virginia. But we're at a fork in the road, folks, deciding America's future. A win will be a shot heard around the American political world.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.